It's a given that 1980s pop stars at some point turned their attention to Africa. But now, they're not only asking us to put our hands in our pockets, they're shelling out considerable amounts themselves. Madonna is no exception, publicly committing herself to the cause of orphans.
In Malawi, for instance, there are over 1 million orphans, and I feel like if you added up all the orphans in Africa, I don't know what it would come to, but it's an astronomically high number, and I feel like it's a problem in the world that we need to pay attention to.
I've discovered that Mercy, who Madonna has just adopted, was not actually an orphan at all. Her family live in the small village of Zioni. I'm going there to talk to them, to find out what happened. I thought that the family gave up their rights to the child when they left her in an orphanage, but that's not the deal. Orphanages here in Malawi are not the same as orphanages in Britain, a place of last refuge. Here, they're more like foster homes. You might put your kids into an orphanage for a couple of years when you've had a bad harvest, but fully expecting to take those kids back when things get better. And that's what happened with Mercy's family. After a 2-hour drive from Lilongwe, I arrive in the village where Mercy was born. It's Sunday and everyone's at church. Meeting us is Lucy, Mercy's grandmother. Lucy delivered Mercy into the world. Days later, her daughter, Mwandida, Mercy's mother, died as a result of the birth in Lucy's arms.
They're saying we should not do it here. No, we can do it another place.
For 3 years, ever since Madonna set her sights on Mercy, Lucy has been the one person standing in Madonna's way, refusing to let Mercy go. But now, she's changed her mind. If Madonna had not come to take Mercy and adopt her, what were your plans for Mercy?
The initial agreement was that Mercy was to be kept in the orphanage for 6 years. After 6 years, Mercy was supposed to be brought back here, and then I would have taken care of her.
Lucy, you have fought so hard to keep your granddaughter here in Malawi, and now you have stopped the fight. I don't understand why.
At first, I didn't want her to go. But as a family, we had to sit down and reach an agreement, and we agreed that Mercy should go. The men insisted that Mercy be adopted, and I won't resist anymore. I still love Mercy. She is my dearest.
She has great dignity. She has rationalized it. Mercy will have a better life. Even though she has a family here, she'll have a better life in another country. And it's that thing, if you really love someone, you let them go. Well, you don't get a starker example of that than Lucy. As is the way in Malawi, it's men who make the decisions. And the head of the family, Mercy's uncle, Peter, signed the adoption papers. Why did he agree?
Initially, we thought maybe it's not a good idea. But then if you consider a lot of factors, we thought this is an opportune time for Mercy to go. We believe that if Mercy can be adopted by someone with a promise of finding a better education, she'll be able to come back and help the siblings and other relations here.
And did Madonna give them any encouragement? Has anyone offered you money?
No money has exchanged hands. Look at me. I haven't even got an account at the bank. I'm just a poor villager.
But it turns out Mercy's story is even more poignant than I'd imagined. Not many kids in a village like this get to go to school. But Mercy's mother, Mwandida, did. She was bright. The villagers clubbed together to pay for her education. She was going to become a doctor, but she didn't. Aged 14, she became pregnant with Mercy, and then she died in childbirth. The villagers said she was cursed. James, the 18-year-old father, ran away, never to be seen again. And now Mercy is the salvation of the village. She's to be jetted out of the country, given a new life, but their hope is she will return and do what her mother couldn't do. I wonder if Madonna even knows about any of this. She inhabits a totally different world, and this might explain why I feel so unsettled by this rich white woman adopting yet another black child. Is it okay to take someone away from a poor place to a rich place, away from their family and their culture, because their life expectancy might be longer? Is the way we live in the West so much better? But Madonna's not the only one. There's a slew of A-listers adopting kids from Africa. If they want to improve the lives of kids here, couldn't they just donate money? To explain the seriousness of her purpose, Madonna chose to use the current affairs programme Newsnight.
Since January, I've been involved with a foundation called Raising Malawi, which essentially was created to look after the needs of orphans. And I did it for two reasons, one to raise awareness and one to raise money.
To be fair to her, Madonna is giving a hell of a lot of money to Malawi through her charity, Raising Malawi. But there may be another motive. Madonna follows a particular interpretation of Kabbalah, a secretive, near cultish brand of mystic Judaism. She's quite open about her faith. Her 1998 single, Ray of Light, is an evangelical anthem about her rebirth as a Kabbalah devotee. The video places her in the centre of a vacuous, fast-moving world without God. I was beginning to wonder if Madonna's adoption of Mercy wasn't part of a bigger plan. Part of a Kabbalah plan for Malawi, working with her charity. I consult the expert Mavuto Banda.
Raising Malawi is a charity founded by Madonna and Michael Berge. He's a custodian of this so-called Kabbalah religion.
So Raising Malawi is basically an organisation run by the head of the Kabbalah organisation in the States and Madonna, who's a member of the Kabbalah.
Exactly.
Okay, I have a huge ego and I need to do something about it. I need to change.
In Madonna's own documentary, she seems to suggest that Kabbalah helps her come to terms with excessive fame and fortune. Perhaps that's why a lot of other high-profile celebrities are also followers. They donate a sizable wedge of their earnings. They drink their own blessed and very overpriced water, and they wear little wristbands, like the one Madonna has tied round her adopted son David's wrist, here. Not only that, but they get children involved via an offshoot called Spirituality for Kids.
I'm here as a student of Kabbalah. In Kabbalah, we learn that if we want something in life, we have to give something. We teach children to never think in a limited way. And these children learn that they have the power to make miracles happen.
It might be good karma for Madonna, but the influence of the Kabbalah troubles Mavuto.
That's where Kabbalah comes in, and that's why they were training local Malawans to be trainers of trainers.
They were training local Malawians in the Kabbalah?
Yes, they went for what they call it spirituality for kids. And there's quite a lot of
And how did they train them?
They were flown to the US for some months, yes, to be trained. So they come back and train more Malawans.
So they come back and they run these homes for children. So it grows and grows and grows.
Yes, and then they spray them.
It's viral in its growth.
Yeah. This is what raises suspicions about Raising Malawi.
According to their website, 160,000 children are benefiting from childcare centres throughout Malawi, with plans to build many more. But do these improvements come with Kabbalah attached? In this devoutly Christian country, where all the orphanages are paid for by foreign donors and schools are only for the few, this means an entire generation of kids has been handed over to people like Madonna and her way of thinking, the Kabbalah way. There is one man in the middle of all of this, the man never far from Madonna's side when she's here, the elusive Philip van den Bosch, head of Kabbalah-sponsored Raising Malawi.
Any journalist that has come to this country to try to get an interview with Philip van den Bosch, they've literally failed.
I feel sure that if anyone is really pulling the strings in the Mercy story, it's Vanden Bosch. I can't work out if he's Bob Geldof or a character from a Bond movie. But one thing's for sure, I need to meet this man and break the Kabbalah's silence about what they're really up to here.